Hello, my name is Kevin. And you're watching Legendary Prepper. Recent events in the world have made me start questioning some different things, some things that I've seen commented on different channels. One thing is if something were to happen to where you would have to abandon your vehicle, like an EMP or a nuclear event that were to send out an EMP or a shockwave that shut down your vehicle. How far away do you work from your home? Is your primary vehicle protected with an EMP shield or a device that's similar to that? Now, at my furthest, I drive a truck and I have a certain area, a certain route that I run. At my furthest, I'm about 30 miles from my place of work. And my place of work is 18 miles from my residence. So I would bypass my house to get back to my vehicle. It would only add maybe 4 or 5 miles to my journey. However, how do you work? Not how do you work. What do you wear when you work? Do you have the proper gear in your vehicle? Have you ever gotten out and tried to walk 18 miles at 3 miles an hour? How far is that? It's a lot of hours. 30 miles is definitely a 2-day trip, at least for me. My get-home bag is 20 pounds. And I've got extra water, the ability to filter water, the ability to stay out of the rain in it, and some food, a couple of MREs. Some other odd name gear, different changes of socks. But if your clothing is business attire and you've got on just regular dress shoes, you really think you're going to walk that far? You're going to have hot spots in your shoes. Your legs the second day are going to be so wobbly, and so are your ankles, especially carrying that pack. If you're not out there regularly walking with it and testing it and staying in good enough shape to make that walk, you're not going to make it. You may do really good the first day, but day 2, it's just not going to happen. For me, my maximum, because of health conditions, all the broken bones, surgery, all the metal hold me together, my maximum is actually 12 miles. I'm not going to try and go any further than 12 miles. Last Saturday I did 2 miles. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a great setup. First part of the day, a lot of good rest. Just had a good meal, so I was well hydrated, a lot of energy, and wearing good shoes, good clothing. But if you're not prepared to make that type of journey, you're really going to struggle. And I see people that think they can get out there and do it, but if you don't have that pack on your back, you have no idea what it's going to feel like. Well, I get out and walk around the block, I know what it feels like. Well, no, you don't. It's a big difference when you're hiking mile after mile after mile. I used to do 5 miles a day, at least 3 times a week, with a 50-pound pack on my back. This is back before I got hit by that truck. I can't do that type of thing anymore. I know I said the 4-letter word that can't. There's just some limitations that as you get older, your body's going to let you know, hey, you don't need to do this anymore. So, do you know the hot spots in your shoes? If you have extra gear, a change of clothes, do you know the hot spots in your shoes? Is your pack set up properly so it's going to wear properly and not hurt your shoulders or your hips or your back in any way? Do you have an area laid out that you can walk through? Do you go through some pretty sketchy areas? Me personally, at my furthest, I've got some pretty sketchy areas I have to go through. So, are you dressed the whole gray man setup? These are things you really need to think about at your furthest. How long it's going to take you? What type of contingency plans do you have in place? Can you make a 30-mile trip in one day? You know, if it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not going to try and walk 18 miles. I'm just not, because I don't want to be out and about. I can wait one day. If I were at my place of work, I can wait there one day and get a good early start, have a great night's rest, have a good full meal. At my place of work, if I had to walk home, I could load up on water. Got a Camelback, so I can sip water as I'm walking. These are just things you really need to think about. Don't think that just because you're a prepper, you can get out and do this stuff. Because I can't PT like I used to. I've lost a lot of muscle mass because of injury. There's just things that my body will no longer allow me to do. So you need to look at your plan and adjust it accordingly. And actually get out and train. Just get out and train. Practice these things. Because when crunch time comes, that's it. There's no do-overs. You have what you have. You're going to be able to work within the limitations of what your body will let you do. So, have a contingency plan as well. If you don't have an EMP shield, go over to empshield.com, type in Reality Survival, and you'll get a $50 discount on your EMP shield. And that's on every single one up for your vehicle. And then have a contingency plan also for driving home. Stay off the interstates. Because your bug out vehicle is not for you to drive around and shoot the bad guy like in video games. It's to get you from point A to point B safely. Have a good one, guys.